"I just want to go see my balance," said the little black girl, her calm voice cutting through the pompous silence of Bank of America Premium. Charles Whitman III stopped typing on his gold laptop, raising his designer glasses, as if he'd heard the most absurd joke. The 9-year-old, Lana Jackson, stood at the VIP counter holding a transparent folder while millionaire clients watched with disbelief and cruel amusement. Her worn sneakers and simple T-shirt sharply contrasted with the $3,000 suits and designer handbags surrounding her. "Did you hear that, honey?" Charles whispered to his wife, Madison. "The child wants to see the balance. Probably mistook this place for a regular bank." Discreet laughter echoed as if to humiliate her further. But Lana's eyes were determined. She carried a secret too heavy for her age. Mr. Patterson, the manager, approached with a condescending smile. "Sweetie, this is a premium section. Children must be accompanied by adults. Perhaps you're lost. The regular agency is across the street." "I'm not lost," Lana replied calmly, placing the folder on the marble counter. "My grandmother told me to come here at this time, to this counter." Charles closed his laptop and approached like a predator. "Your grandmother? Huh? What's her name, sweetie? Maybe she's our cleaning lady or works in the kitchen where my wife has her plastic surgeries." Madison covered her mouth, feigning horror while smirking with malice. But something imperceptible shifted in Lana. Her shoulders straightened, chin lifted, and a small, dangerous smile appeared. "Dorothy Jackson," she said, each word dropping like a stone. "Some people here know that name very well." The effect was immediate. Patterson blinked, hands frozen over the keyboard. Charles raised an eyebrow, confused, sensing the sudden tension. "Type the name in, and let's get this over with. I have investors in 20 minutes. Charles called impatiently. Lana observed every face, memorizing reactions with intelligence that belied her age. Patterson typed the name, and his expression changed completely. He looked as if he'd seen a ghost. Charles tapped impatiently on the counter. "What's the problem, Patterson?" "A simple query shouldn't take this long," Patterson stammered. Madison laughed maliciously. "Maybe call your grandmother. She's probably worried." Lana remained calm. Memories of her late grandmother's words surfaced. "He who laughs laughs best." "She died last week," Lana said simply. "But she taught me some people need lessons the hard way." Charles cleared his throat, uncomfortable. "Well, I'm sorry for your loss." "That doesn't change the fact you shouldn't be here," he continued, dismissing her. "This place is for people who understand serious finance." Lana opened her folder deliberately, removing a yellowed envelope marked to be opened only in the presence of the senior manager of Bank of America Premium on Fifth Avenue. Patterson's stomach churned. Dorothy Jackson had been a legendary figure in the city's black community, quietly building a powerful empire. Charles tried to snatch the envelope, but Lana's reflexes were quick. "It's not for you," she said firmly. At that moment, the regional director, Victoria Thompson, a commanding black woman in her 50s, approached. "I received an automatic notification about a special account inquiry. Our protocol is being followed." Her presence immediately shifted the dynamic. Lana smiled genuinely. "Vicky," she said. Recognition dawned in Victoria's eyes. "Lana Jackson," she whispered. "You look just like Dorothy as a child." Charles and Madison exchanged confused glances. How did this child know the director? Victoria guided Lana to the executive room. "Your grandmother prepared me for this moment," Victoria said. "She knew I'd know exactly what to do." Inside, Lana's calm and calculating demeanor filled the room. "Grandma taught me that people reveal themselves when they think there are no consequences," Lana said, lifting her phone subtly. Victoria opened a confidential file. Dorothy had documented decades of discrimination at the bank and left instructions for this day. Lana had been trained to expose the injustices precisely. Part 2. Victoria handed Lana a folder with instructions and legal documents. Your grandmother wasn't just the founder of Jackson Holdings. She was a silent shareholder in multiple companies, including Whitman Enterprises. Charles paled. He had unknowingly worked for the very family he mocked. Lana sat at the leather chair, eyes alert. "Mr. Charles, After reviewing your contracts and consulting my legal advisors, I will exercise the termination clause for just cause, she said. Just cause? Charles stammered. Marcus Henderson, the Jackson family lawyer, displayed the digital recording. Every word, laugh, and insult was preserved. Your statements constitute clear, documented racial discrimination, he said. Lana's calm voice carried a chilling weight. You have shown me the kind of people who judge others by skin color or appearance. Your actions today provided absolute proof. Victoria added, this is public record. Legal action will follow if any retaliation occurs. Charles tried to apologize. I can change. Please give me a second chance. Lana turned to him. You've had 9 years to learn that children deserve respect. Decades to learn not to judge by skin color. How many more second chances do you need? Madison cried, begging for mercy. Victoria's icy response silenced her. Civility should have been applied before, not after the consequences. Lana rose, small in stature, but radiating authority. You wanted to teach me my place. Mission accomplished. My place is at the top, building a better world for other children judged by character, not skin. Charles realized he faced not a child, but a meticulously prepared force of justice. Every humiliating action he took had been recorded, documented, and legally weaponized. Marcus spread the documents, emails, contracts, social media evidence, all showing Charles and Madison's complicity in discrimination. You've just made the biggest error in judgment of your lives, Victoria said. Lana's final words, calm yet cutting, resonated. You have shown me the cost of prejudice, but I will use this to protect those who follow me. Remember, my grandmother was right. Never underestimate someone society teaches you to ignore. Charles and Madison left the room shattered, realizing the consequences of their arrogance and bigotry. Lana, at just 9 years old, had enforced justice with precision and foresight, carrying forward her grandmother's legacy of empowerment and integrity. Charles tried to calm himself. I'll apologize, maybe offer a donation. Kids are easy to impress. He entered the conference room. Lana sat at the head, Victoria beside her, documents spread across the table. She looked nothing like a lost child. She resembled a CEO in command. Mr. Charles. Lana said coldly, I'm glad you joined us. She calmly explained that she was now a shareholder in Whitman Enterprises. Charles froze. 5% of shares didn't sound much, but in a dispersed ownership structure, that minority could wield enormous influence. Apologies, Charles began. Misunderstanding. Lana interrupted. You called my deceased grandmother a cleaning lady, laughed at me, and mocked my presence. That's not a misunderstanding. It's racism. Marcus Henderson, the Jackson family lawyer, presented every piece of evidence. Digital recordings, emails, social media posts, and contracts connecting Charles's company to Jackson Holdings. Every insult and act of prejudice became irrefutable proof. Charles and Madison shrank under the weight of their actions. Lana had orchestrated the entire encounter, using her apparent vulnerability to expose their arrogance and bias. Victoria looked at Charles with icy authority. Would you like to hear your statements recorded today? They will be shared with your board, investors, and legal counsel. Charles realized his mistake. He hadn't humiliated a random child. He had insulted the heir to the empire that had sustained his business. Lana, calm and precise, addressed the contracts. After reviewing your agreements, I will exercise the termination clause for just cause, as documented in your discriminatory behavior today. Charles's face drained of color. Losing Jackson Holdings contracts would cripple his company. You should consider that before deciding my skin determined my worth, Lana said, calm and logical. Madison burst into tears, pleading. Victoria reminded her, civility comes before consequences, not after. Lana rose, small in stature but commanding in presence. You've shown me exactly the kind of people who judge others by skin color or clothes. But you've also proven my grandmother was right. Racism isn't always obvious. Sometimes it wears a polite suit and pretends to be civilized. Charles tried one last gambit. I can change. Give me a second chance. You've had 9 years to learn children deserve respect. Decades to learn not to judge people by skin color. How many more chances do you need? Lana asked, Marcus closed his briefcase. Legal action would proceed. Retaliation was forbidden. Before leaving, Lana offered a final lesson. You wanted to teach me my place. Mission accomplished. But my place is exactly where my grandmother said it would be. At the top, building a better world for children judged by character, not skin. The door closed softly behind her, leaving Charles and Madison to grasp the magnitude of their error. Lana had executed a plan years in the making, a precise orchestration of justice that left no escape for prejudice, no room for denial, and a lesson that would echo far beyond the marble walls of the bank.